We are many things. We're a nonprofit organization. We are a group of people working together to save our genetic heritage. We love and appreciate seeds, and seeds especially that were brought into this country when people immigrated.
So today we're planting a bunch of different flowers for evaluation.
Diane Ott-Wheely co-founded Seed Savers Exchange in 1975. It's located just outside of Decorah on an 850-acre farm. The organization's entire mission revolves around saving seeds. But it didn't start out this large. In fact, it began with just 2 types of seed that Diane's grandfather entrusted to her: a small German pink tomato and her grandpa's morning glories.
So we started with a seed that my grandparents always grew. He went back into his bedroom and came out with this little white pillbox full of these tiny little black seeds. He said, "Did you know that my parents brought the seed over when they immigrated from Bavaria?" And I had never heard that story before. And just holding those seeds was a link to my ancestors that I never knew or thought about. So we had this treasure. We thought, wow, how often does this happen? That elderly gardeners pass away, and what happens to their seed?
From those 2 plants, Seed Savers grew into what it is today.
That is marigold seed.
It has collected, cataloged, and stored thousands of varieties of seeds received from hobbyists, home gardeners, and its network of members over the last 4 decades.
It goes back to saving biodiversity. It's important to have all these varieties because one of them potentially could be a really good radish that's going to grow well in your particular climate. It could be really good for disease resistance. And so you can see like the diversity that we have in all these types of radishes. This one.
It's sort of an abstract concept, genetic diversity. But when they can see it growing in a garden, it makes sense. It puts it all together.
Need me to get the door?
No, I got it.
Seed Savers houses the largest non-governmental seed bank. Inside, the seeds are stored at below freezing temperatures, and they can stay there for decades. The vigor and viability of seeds stored even at sub-zero temperatures declines over time. So another major part of Seed Savers' job is to grow the plants to create new seeds.
These varieties are just from our seed bank. So we look at different genetic characteristics like time to maturity, how productive they are, how tall the plants get, the taste qualities of the varieties. We do a pretty thorough documentation for each of the crops in this garden.
Seed saving is not difficult. When you think about all the seed that we have today, it's here because our ancestors saved seed, and they didn't have degrees in horticulture or fancy equipment. They just knew to save the seed because it was important, because that was going to provide their next year's garden. Every seed has a story. It's so important for us to have the stories and the seed because otherwise it's just vacant. It doesn't have the beauty of the stories behind it. Who grew it? How did they eat it? How did they prepare it? Where did it come from? And the stories that everybody has about, their Sunday dinners with the string beans and the sliced tomatoes. So we started Seed Savers with that.